Hey y'all, it's Brandon
And Stephanie.
from Getting Gazelle.
And we know that we appear to have disappeared off of the YouTube world. Um, but it has just been a busy season. So we finished with our homeschooling co-op in mid-November. And then I had a convention in Orlando that I attended for struggling and gifted learners. I think I've shared on here before that Xander is considered twice exceptional, which means that he has learning deficits as well as giftedness, and it's very hard to diagnose, but we have gotten it done. And so I went originally. I planned to go to get some help for Xander. It ended up being all about Solomon once I got there, because I had the opportunity to speak to a lobbyist that is here in the state of Florida, and an organization that administers a special needs scholarship fund, which Solomon qualifies for, but I was having trouble with them. And so it ended up being more about making political connections and doing a little bit of networking for me and for other parents that have children with special needs that are having the same problems. We didn't realize that it was going to infuriate me to the point that I ended up going to Tallahassee and speaking on the Florida Senate floor.
Yep, so...
Which is a huge God thing because I don't talk in front of large groups of people except for on YouTube.
So we packed up one night when I got off work. It was a Tuesday night. I got off at around 8 o'clock. Got home, we left and headed for Tallahassee. We got in our hotel room about, 2 o'clock a.m.?
It was 2:40.
2:40 a.m.
When we got everybody back in bed.
And she was back up and at the Senate office at around 9. And then I just went and hung out at the hotel with the kids until she got done with her Senate speech.
Right. So my speech did not end up creating any amendments or stopping the bill from going through for the 2016-2017 school year. However, I did make contact with my own senator and his staff, and they are very interested in hearing what I have to say. And I have some meetings scheduled with them later this month. So that was very positive. There's actually 2 senators from our county because our county is so large. And they were both very interested in my take on the bill as a parent of a child with special needs. So that was interesting. Other than that, we have, because our co-op has ended for this semester, we have Brandon still off on Wednesdays because he's working his 410s. And so we have been using the heck out of our Disney passes. Don't worry, we did not go into debt for our Disney passes. We ended up getting a reimbursement from our move that was unbudgeted, and it came right after our miscarriage. And so it was exactly the amount needed for tickets.
I think we had to put $2 with it.
Yeah, $2. And so we just took that as a sign that that God had seen us as being faithful, and that we really needed some family time to reconnect. And so that's what we've been focused on while we've been on our big YouTube break, as well as our co-op break, is reconnecting with each one of our children, and building our family back tight as we walk through grief. One of our little boys recently asked me if Santa could bring us a baby that won't die and put it in my tummy. So we all are having periods of grief and periods of confusion and not understanding how this fits in God's plan. So that has been very important to us, is to step back, take a break, take care of our emotional health. We also got Solomon on a horse for hippotherapy. It wasn't official hippotherapy, but we got him on a horse just to make sure he liked it before I start jumping all the hoops in order to get him official hippotherapy. And he had a blast. Delaney has an opportunity to volunteer at a horse farm once a week, and so she is super interested in becoming a veterinary technologist, a vet tech. And so she is absolutely over the moon excited about that. So that will be hopefully getting started after the holidays. And so she got the opportunity to pet and love on some horses that are rescues, and ride a horse and feed a horse and feed a donkey, and learn a little bit about the different animals and things like that. Brandon's been busy at work.
I have. Julianne, during this time, has also conquered her fear of roller coasters.
She has.
She has ridden everything that she's been tall enough to ride at Disney World, which, I mean, it's pretty much everything there. Some things she said she didn't like at the end, but she gave it a shot. And other things she's realized she absolutely loves. So, and then Xander just confirmed that he is still a thrill junkie.
Thrill ride junkie.
He rides every single roller coaster he can ride with his hands straight up in the air, and he wants to make sure that he's in the very front row.
If possible.
So he is definitely a thrill ride junkie.
Solomon is as well. He is right at what the minimum requirements are for some of the rides. So sometimes he measures tall enough and sometimes he doesn't measure tall enough. I don't think Disney's measurements are super accurate, but anyways, so sometimes he can ride, sometimes he can't, but when he rides, he loves it. And Isaiah, there is one baby coaster he can ride at Magic Kingdom, and there's a picture of Isaiah with his hands straight up in the air with his mommy, because he is also a thrill ride junkie. We're raising our kids right.
Yep, and Isaiah absolutely loves the castle, and he will pitch a fit if anybody is in his way from seeing the castle all lit up.
Yes, that is his castle, he thinks. It's really his mommy's.
Those are just different things that each kid that we've learned that they've displayed in this, you know, like Steph said, this YouTube break, as they're coming into their own and figuring out what they like and what they dislike and different things like that.
Right. We still are unofficially homeschooling through our break. Right now we're really focusing on math. There are some areas of opportunity after coming out of public schools with Common Core, which that's a rant for another day. But we're having to undo some damage that was done in the area of math with both of our girls. And so we've been doing math and then a lot of reading, a lot of... we've had a lot of field trips. We went this past Friday and we saw a local youth performance of The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, and it was fantastic. It was super cheap. It was $5 a ticket, and if you had young children that sat on your lap, they didn't need a ticket. So for our family to go for $30 is amazing. Tonight after dark, we're headed out to a local county-run park that does a lights display, and it's $2 a car. And so we're going to do that, listen to some Christmas music. I think they have a channel you turn it to as you ride through, and it all makes sense. So we're looking forward to that. Murphy did try to move in a little bit. Brayden's car needed a battery. His van, rather, needed a battery. And then Brandon and I became super involved in our neighborhood, and the management company for them. It's kind of like HOA, but we became super involved, and we climbed the ranks.
Yeah, there was a property.
In case you haven't noticed, we don't take no very well, especially when we think that it's not appropriate. So it leads to things like talking on the Senate floor when you're deathly afraid of public speaking, and things like that.
There was just a property that wasn't being well taken care of, right. And
it was a hazard.
We, on behalf of our neighborhood, we were speaking to them and making sure that things were in order all the way up to like the president of the association to ensure that this property was safe and while no one's living there, and that the appropriate actions were being taken.
Yes. So, and then I've also been doing some social things that I in Minnesota haven't never done, because I have friends here in Florida, which is something that didn't happen in Minnesota. So one of the days we were at Disney, another family from our co-op was there, and we hung out with them for a little while. I took a night out on the town, and went to a ceramic shop, painted a piece, or part of a piece. I have to go back and finish, and then went to dinner. And then I have, I kind of mentioned in one of our vlogs that we left. I left the Tuesday night Bible study I was in, and then I started attending a Thursday night Bible study associated with a different church, which is actually on the way to our old church. And so I started doing that. So I've been out and about. We have good days and we have bad days. And that's what we're doing.
So now we are.
He's been busy freelance writing too. His article count is quickly rising.
Yeah, I think I've got about maybe 8-ish articles
that have been
published so far. So it's going pretty well, pretty cool. So now we are going, like Steph said, after dark we're gonna go see some lights. Like she also mentioned, the battery died, so we are going to run and correct that out of our auto fund.
Yes.
But I mean, the battery, it's been about 5 years since we replaced that battery.
5 years old.
And I'm sure that the cold weather in Minnesota didn't do it too well at all. So no. It's due.
There's actually special batteries for the cold, and we didn't change our battery to cold start batteries.
Well, it's basically like the cold cranking amps.
Yeah,
right? Like
when we moved to Minnesota, we just left it in, and we were like, oh, if we have to replace it, we have to replace it. Well, it made it through Minnesota, but it didn't like Florida too well, apparently.
Nope. So we'll replace that, and then we'll head out for the evening and have some fun.
So that's where we've been. We hope to be on a little bit more as things settle more into routine. We're still doing the Dave Ramsey thing. We're still paying what we can extra. We're so happy that our house is closed in Minnesota. And we're just chugging along. Nothing super duper duper exciting. I have projected out the spreadsheets for 2016. And it looks like we may be looking at, what did we say, October, maybe faster. Depends on the freelance thing.
Yep.
So that's about it.
So as usual, if you have any prayer requests or anything that you want us to,
you hear our pterodactyl, it's really like a parrot.
It's
a special kind of parrot that somebody has one as a pet in our neighborhood, and they give it outside time, and that's what that crazy noise is. People ask us all the time, what is that noise? It's our pet pterodactyl. There it is again.
But as usual, if you have any prayer requests or need anything from us, feel free to use one of the 3 ways, either gettinggazelle@gmail.com.
There's 4 ways.
Oh, 4 ways, that's correct. So I forgot we added Instagram. So Getting Gazelle at Instagram, or on Instagram, gettinggazelle@gmail.com, Getting Gazelle on Facebook, or you can obviously leave the comments below. If you like our videos, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe. That's encouraging and just helps us along our way. Other than that, we will see y'all later.
Talk to you later, guys. Bye.